We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Voter fraud. We have put together voter fraud. We have put together voter fraud, the most extensive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
And that voter fraud continues to this day, my friends. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I am not feeling exceptionally optimistic. You're going to have to forgive me. Let's see. Trump called us all idiots, retards, fools, whatever name you want to put to it, for believing what they were saying about the Epstein files, that it's a hoax. He hated on us. He ragged on us. He fucking shit on us. President Trump did. His own supporters, you, me, us, acted like this Epstein thing is never going to come out. In one day, the House passes it. The next day, the Senate passes it. And now Trump has signed it. The thing that he swore wasn't really signed. And Congress got it done, each place in one fucking day. No changes, no amendments, no conference committee, nothing. Just signed it and moved it on. But if we want to get rid of voter fraud, we can't sign a piece of legislation that says you have to show ID. You can't sign a piece of legislation that says same-day voting only. You can't sign a piece of legislation that says, yeah, but they can do something that they all swore wasn't real pretty damn quick. Why? Because nothing's going to come from that. And they don't want the voter system fixed. This whole fucking thing is a sham. Washington, D.C. is a sham. It is owned, bought, and paid for. Who you decide or who you think bought and paid for Washington, D.C. is up to you. I have my belief systems. Everyone has their own. That's fine. But we are fucked at this point, folks. I sure hope you're prepared, because there's just something doesn't smell right. Something's fucking broken as fuck. And you want a little more proof, a little more information, a little bit of SHTF, a little bit of black pill good news? I mean, I read this headline and I thought to myself, what did I just read? Well, President Trump has labeled his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, you ready for this? The most powerful woman in the world. You know what he says she can do? She can, with just one phone call, wipe out any country in the world. I didn't vote for Susie Wiles. I didn't know she's in control of the world. The most powerful woman in the world, Susie Wiles, huh? Oh, by the way, she worked for Netanyahu in 2020 to get reelected. I'm guessing she's got some kind of connections. Oh, yeah. Or maybe a certain country whose name starts with I, not Iran, has connections, and lots of them, into the White House. Enough that they pull his fucking strings. Disgusted, folks. Disgusted. And I'm disgusted with the Democrats in Congress. Now, Trump says, based on the actions of the Democrats, right? He says, quote, each one should be arrested and put on trial. Seditious behavior from traitors. Who's he talking about? Is he talking about Susie Wiles? No. Is he talking about Pam Bondi or Kash Patel? No. Is he talking about the Clintons? No. He's talking about the 6 Democrat elected people, right? 6 congressional Democrats that demand and they just fucking demanded that the military defy lawful presidential orders. Trump says each one should be arrested. They're not going to be. Trump says they should be put on trial. They're not going to be. Hell, Trump even says that what they did could carry the death penalty with it. And it's not going to happen. None of it's going to happen. It's all fucking bullshit talk and smoke and mirrors, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. I have never been more convinced in my life that the right wing and the left wing are just two shit-covered wings of the same filthy bird. And it's not the eagle. It's not even the lowly fucking buzzard. It is some other kind of carrion that eats filth and lives off of sewage. It's a fucking parasite. That's exactly what we've got in charge of everything. A parasitic organization and a parasitic belief system. And nothing good. This is the upshot, downshot. Nothing ever good comes from a government when it falls to these levels of corruption, where the Congress can tell the military, ignore the president. And yes, a lot of officers, retired military veterans have said that's sedition. It's sedition. It's seditious conspiracy, because they are elected officials. They are recognized authority figures, and they're promoting disobedience to lawful orders. That sounds just like Washington, D.C. anyways, because I got this here book right here. It's called the U.S. Constitution, and it has orders in it. It has rules, and the people in Congress, in the Senate, in the House, have sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution, and they have completely fucking ignored it. So Trump says, yeah, these people should be arrested and put on trial. Was the Democrat response, oh, geez, we're sorry? No, it was the opposite. In fact, Chuck Schumer, who is a grade A 100% moron, takes to the Senate floor. Chuck Schumer, senator, complains that Trump called congressional Democrats seditious for demanding the military defy his lawful orders. Schumer's mad that he called them seditious. Schumer has accused Trump of making political violence more likely now, warning that his supporters may take his words and carry out assassinations of political opponents, because that's happened, right? We have Republicans out there every day killing poor little Democrats, assaulting poor little Democrats. I believe there was a fucking Democrat standing in the driveway of a Republican congressman today, pissing in his driveway. He didn't pull over because he had to go pee somewhere and he just happened to be there. No, he went to this congressman's house and pissed in his driveway. Just happens to be a congressman who is right now criticizing what is going on in this country at Washington, D.C. Right? So, Chuck Schumer's very upset. Political violence is more likely. Someone might get assassinated. You mean like James Comey, former director of the FBI, putting 8647 and then posting it on the internet? That was fucking fine. Kill Trump. 8647. Oh, no problem there. These fucking pieces of shit in D.C. call us Nazis, call us Hitler, call us white supremacists. That's fine. They get to go on TV and say that us, Republicans, and especially us white Christian types, are the biggest threat to democracy. That's fine. That's fine. You know, this type of shit.
There are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Obviously, Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans are the biggest threat to democracy.
This means war. That is where we are. We are at war with these people. These folks are evil.
And all because...
Yeah, these folks are evil. That's what they say. You know why they keep saying right wing is the biggest threat to democracy? Because the FBI has been falsifying their statistics to make the case internally that, yeah, us Republicans, us, shall we say, constitutionalists are the biggest threat. Kind of like saying, you know, when they catch Hispanics breaking the law, illegals, they're white. Kind of like when they catch blacks breaking the law, they call them white. Kind of like when Arabs that are here legally or illegally break the law, they statistically put them in there as whites. Whites committing acts of violence, whites committing murder, whites doing this, whites doing that, so they can label us as the threat and danger. Right? But don't you dare call seditious congressmen and women seditious, because when they're being seditious, that, you know, calling them out on being seditious, that could lead to political assassinations. Choke on a fucking raw hamburger, you faggot Schumer. I'm fucking sick of these people. They can lie right to your face. Hakeem, dollar store Obama Jeffries. Hakeem, discount Obama Jeffries. Come out and bald-faced, gaslit, lied his ass off directly to the cameras and said he doesn't know Epstein, had nothing to do with him, doesn't know nothing about it, even though he solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. Just these fucking people are liars. The Democrats are liars. The Republicans are liars. It makes me fucking sick that Maggot Mike Johnson, with his grease back hair and his smarmy little fucking look on his face, supposedly a Republican, stands up in front of the cameras and looks at you and me and says, and I'm going to fill in the blanks, if we release the Epstein files, which list the names of pedophiles, then national security is put at risk. No, he said, yeah, we can't release the files because that puts national security at risk. What is in the files? What's in the files? The names of pedophiles who went to Jeffrey Epstein's rape children island. They're pedophiles and worse. But if we release their names, it threatens national security and it threatens our governmental institutions. Oh, so our governmental institutions are involved with, participate in, use in one way or another a rape island for children. So we can't release it. Pam Bondi, Bimbo Bondi, stupid see you next Tuesday Bondi reopens an investigation into the Epstein Isles, which are a fucking hoax. So now she can say, I can't release the files because it's an ongoing investigation. Or I have to redact everything because it's now an ongoing investigation. You see, I told you, if Trump fucks up, anyone in his administration, anyone fucks up, we're going to criticize him. We are putting the heat on them. You and I, us Americans, are putting the heat on them, and they don't like it. So they're coming to the camera with a shit-eating grin on their face to tell us how they'd like to help and do the right thing. And we'll pass this and we'll do that. But actually, we're going to get jack shit. So now they're fucking pissing down our backs and telling us that's warm rain and you'll like it. It's just, it is unbelievable, folks. There is nothing good in government. Oh, I've got to tell you, and I've got to admit that the Democrats, they were in the fucking express lane to fucking this country up. Trump is just doing it a different way. Bondi, Patel, all these people, they're doing it. They're still doing the same fucking things. They're not doing anything to fix the fucking problems. Oh, well, we caught some illegals. They're not catching any more illegal aliens than they were catching during the Biden administration. Yeah, Biden was removing illegals, folks. But the media wasn't hyping it up. The fucking scumbags on the street weren't hyping it up. We are in big fucking trouble. There is crisis right now. But the lights are on. I'm getting a paycheck. The stoplights work. The gas stations got gas. The grocery stores have groceries. So everything must be fine, right? It's fine until it's not. I don't want it to go bad, folks, but it just seems like that's the next step. I mean, the criminality of government is more than just worldwide. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but now we have had the first ever crime in space. First ever crime in space. A NASA astronaut's ex-wife has now pled guilty because she alleged that a first ever crime happened in space. I think what she did was the wife of an astronaut said that up in space, her account was illegally accessed. So the space wife accesses the earthbound wife. Yeah, you're hearing that right. Bank account. She snitches on her. Turns out it's bullshit. So now she's had to plead guilty to lying about the crime. Well, female astronaut's wife. Yep. A lesbo astronaut has a fucking typical lesbo marriage. These people, folks, they've infiltrated everywhere and everything. And all they do is bring a mess of mental problems and shit all over the rest of us. Literally. Do you think Kash Patel doesn't have some mental fucking problems? Dating a woman way too good looking for him, half his fucking age, and he's chasing her around trying to please her, giving her an FBI SWAT protection team. What the fuck is going on? Dan Bongino keeps coming out and telling us what a great job they're doing. And we're like, who the fuck have you arrested? They've got mental problems. They think they're doing a good fucking job. Pam Bondi keeps writing very harsh letters and appearing on Fox. Isn't that how government's supposed to work? Does that solve all our problems? No, nothing is getting fixed. The Democrats obviously have fucking problems. They're beyond fucking repair. They think that having sex with children is just fine, and they say it publicly. They think that having drag queens read stories to children is great. They think that having books explaining to children how to have anal sex with older men is a great thing to have in school. They think having a fucking communist flag on the wall and a transgender flag on the wall and wearing pink, purple, green hair, a fucking dress, and probably have a dildo stuck to their fucking forehead. That's how teachers should dress. They're all out of their fucking gourds, and they're in charge of everything, folks. You know what's crazy? You know what one of the craziest things is I am not making any of this up. I'm not making this up. That's the fucking nutty thing. Oh, man. I don't even have to make this up. It's not a conspiracy. Everything I just shouted and talked about is exactly what's going on. They're spending more money than ever. Oh, but don't worry. Any day now, Trump's going to give us $2,000 to fix it. He just gave $50 billion to Israel. And we got 50-year mortgages. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Thank you. Okay, so I guess the question that is being begged here is, what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? What should we do about it? What can we do about it? Write, call, text your congressman. Write, text, call your senators. Write, text, call the White House. Write, text, call the fucking governor. And remind them of the Declaration of Independence. Because we told them we want the Epstein thing fixed. We told them we want our voting system fixed. We told them everything we want fixed, and they've done none of it. So we may as well now write the president, write your congressman, write your senators, write your governor, and remind them that the Declaration of Independence is very clear. Very clear. And now I'm going to take the time to read the passage from our own declaration. Oh, by the way, schools are publishing or handing out or teaching the Constitution and Declaration with a disclaimer that the school does not agree with or support the statements in our national documents, the documents that have established this nation. This is what I think we should all write. The president, our congressmen and women, hell, the fucking Supreme Court. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, parentheses, screwing Americans in the ass, close parentheses, it evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, parentheses, see the ass screwing part above, close parentheses. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government. That's the Declaration of Independence. That is a lawful document. It is the document that established our rights and justified any actions taken against tyrants. Now, the IRS says they have a right to take your money, even though the Constitution says the government doesn't. That's tyranny. The ATF says that you can only have guns that they think are nice. That's tyrannical because the Second Amendment says we have the right to keep and bear arms, not we have the right to keep and bear arms as long as the ATF agrees. The tyrant says they can get into our Social Security account, our bank accounts. They can debank us. They can have our credit cards canceled. They can fuck us over economically, financially. They can seize our assets. I believe that's in violation of the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. Government uses foreign intelligence agencies, that is, spies from around the world, to steal information and provide it to the government, which otherwise would be incapable and, well, prohibited from doing such things. So they pay others in other countries to do it with your tax money, get the information against you, and file it against you and me and treat us like shit. Fuck you, tyrants. I think that's what people should write their congressmen, the president, the Supreme Court, and even your governors and remind them. That felt so good. I'm going to read it again, this time without my special additions. Let me clear my throat because this needs to be read from the Declaration of Independence in Congress, July 4th, 1776. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. When Amy Coney Barrett, Supreme Court whore, was being considered as a Supreme Court justice, at least that dumb bitch knows what the difference between a woman and a man is. But she said that the Declaration of Independence is not law. The fuck it isn't. Because if it wasn't, it doesn't suffice in separation of the colonies from England. Well, let's continue, shall we? This is so fun. Ooman will like this one. The killing of Charlie Kirk, the assassination of him. If that was a garden variety killing, why has the surveillance video of the assassination gone missing from the sheriff's office? Also, TPUSA, or a spokesperson therein, says the college police said they had rooftop surveillance in their wheelhouse. I guess they didn't, huh? Whoops-a-daisy. People are completely fucking incompetent. All right. And now, once again, to make Ooman very happy, I'm going to give you crime report from the Windy City, Chicago itself. I'm going to call this the Windy City Safety Report. In Chicago, a Democrat man, because there's no fucking way he is a conservative Republican, a Democrat man with 49 prior arrests. 49 prior arrests. I'm sure a couple of them were for felonies. And well, he wasn't in prison. He was released. 49. Let's see if we can get to fucking 50. Well, he got there, folks. He was let out of prison. He's on the street. He gets on a Chicago train, pours gasoline on a woman, sets her on fire while screaming, "Burn, bitch." Well, he got to 49. I'm sorry, he got to 50, didn't he? These prisoners, they're not reformed, folks. They're always deadly. And you and I, all of us, are always potential victims. And this just isn't in Chicago. It's more than Chicago. It's more than New York. It's more than LA. It's more than Seattle. These fucking people are everywhere. If someone looks like a fucking scumbag, believe it, they are. Now, I see people all the time, all day long. I see good people. I see bad people. I see white people, brown people, black people, Asian people, fucking Arabs. I see everyone every fucking day. And I know who the scumbags are because they look a certain way. They act a certain way. They carry themselves a certain way. I see great people all the time that are minorities that don't look like me. And they're just fine. I say hi to them. They say hi to me. We talk to each other in grocery stores. I high five. We knuckle bump. We fucking talk. I'm a very friendly guy. You look like a fucking scumbag. My hand goes to my everyday carry and I keep it close because I know what a fucking scumbag looks like. People need to wake up and quit being fucking colorblind, nose blind, or just fucking deaf to what is going on out there. There are dangerous people everywhere, folks, and you've got to be prepared. Don't turn your back on someone who you notice looks scary, behaves erratically, could be on drugs. How many times do we have to hear about someone getting pushed on the railroad tracks, stabbed, beat, gang attacked? Right? And the thing is now, it's not like people just get punched. A few years ago, it was just the knockout game, right? Where they would sucker punch men. And then they started sucker punching women. Just walking up and just knocking them out. Attacking old women, old men, women. Now they're attacking men. It doesn't matter. They're just fucking attacking people. This is where our country's going. It is just unbelievable, folks. What's on your mind? What are you guys reading out there? What happened today or yesterday that's gotten your attention? I think it's important. I'd like to know what you're thinking for real. I'm not just blowing smoke in your ass. Everybody fucking knows. You come on the channel, you write a comment in the comment section, and we discuss it, right? As long as it's framed as a question and it's something we can put on the screen. I want to know what you're thinking. Do I just come on here every fucking day and rattle off and rant? No. We talk about real things that are going on in the world we're in. Folks, I live and work in semi-rural and rural areas and also urban areas. I am now in the state of Florida, all over the place. And I see the same thing everywhere I go. I see a lot of good people, and I see some shady fucking people. And I know that anywhere from 4 to 6 out of every 10 people I see that they're fucking Democrats, and they would stick a knife in my throat if they could get away with it, because that's what they believe now. They are becoming angrier and shittier, while the Republicans just want to talk tough and do nothing, while they screw us all and steal our fucking money. In fact, Democrat Senator Padilla You remember that dumbass? Yeah, he's the same screwy California Democrat who violently charged a Republican doing a press conference. He was removed from the crowd, complained, I'm a senator. He wasn't identifying himself, didn't have a fucking pin, was dressed in normal clothes. No one would have any fucking clue who he was. Complained he was treated badly. Yeah, Senator Padilla, sack of shit from California. Slammed his notebook in Congress. Stormed out of a hearing concerning the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement raids. What does that tell you? Right? They're getting tired of the political process. Oh, there was some interesting, cool shit that went down in Mexico yesterday. They got in a fight down there over what's going on in their country. Literally a fucking fight in the Mexican Senate. I watched the footage. The dude that was doing some shoving, he was fucking putting some muscle on people. I don't think we're that far away, except most of the people in our Congress are fucking fossils. The others are a bunch of fucking lunatics. Right? And now what do we have in there? A Democrat, a stupid Democrat bitch in Congress is being indicted for stealing not $5, not $50, not $500, not $5,000, $5 fucking million. She stole from the government $5 million. This congresswoman has stolen. She's being indicted for it. Congress is sitting there going, should we censor her? I don't know. I mean, she's just a congresswoman stealing $5 million. I mean, the rest of Congress, they steal trillions of dollars a year as a group and send it overseas and give it away to their faggot friends. Their fruitcakes. We're going to give you $20 million. We're going to give you $50 million. We're going to give you $100 million. And you're going to go to another country and teach them how to cut their genitals off and rape children. Why don't they just come out and say what the fuck they're doing? They're trying to ruin other countries and their cultures and everything. Interestingly, I spoke with a subcontractor today, and I said, hey, man, what's that fucking accent you've got? And he says, El Salvadorian. I said, cool. He says, what are you? I said, Swedish and German. He says, hey, do you know who invented and started the Volkswagen company? I said, yeah, the people's car, Hitler. And this fucking guy from El Salvador started telling me about history and about industry and about I found it very fascinating. I'm going to meet this guy on Monday on a project that's being done out there. I can't wait to meet this fucking guy from El Salvador. Remember, El Salvador has a president, Bukele, who said, he got rid of all of his fucked up judges, brought in new judges, found criminals guilty, and said, we're locking them up forever. Forever. As a consequence, in the country of El Salvador, you can now walk the streets safely. It's a very safe country. This country, not so much. Right? We got our senator slamming his notebook. I'm pissed at these hearings. How dare this country try and get rid of illegal, scumbag, drug dealing, kidnapping, raping, murdering fucking criminals. Democrats don't like that. By the way, the pile of shit congresswoman is Sheila Chairfullis McCormick. Chairfullis McCormick. I hope I fucked her name up. $5 million in FEMA funds. Wait a minute. Weren't we told? Ooh, man. Didn't we hear that there's no money in FEMA? That it was all given away? There's no money for people in America who got just fucking destroyed in a hurricane that hit the mountains of North Carolina. Because, hurricanes are noted for going deep into mountain ranges and just flooding the shit out of everybody and killing them. And then the government says, we don't got no money. Go fuck yourselves. But they got plenty of money to send overseas, send to South America, send to Africa, and, pay for theater productions of how to cut your dick off, how to be a drag queen, how to transgender studies in Latin American culture, right? Plenty of money for that. And plenty of money for Sheila Cheerfulis McCormick to steal $5 million out of FEMA. I guess some government employees are more equal than other government employees, but this one, Sheila, is now being sacrificed. I would like all of the thieves in Congress arrested. They're all fucking crooks. I don't have any compunction. I don't have any reservations in saying that. I don't have any reservations in saying that they're all fucking crooks. Now, again, I'm going to call back to yesterday. The 14-year-old girl goes online and says, if a 14-year-old has to get online to explain this to a grown adult with a national platform, then something is seriously wrong. Kids my age shouldn't have to be the moral compass in rooms full of adults. And this is where we're at. You and I, us, Ooman, Jolene, Chin Music, Darcy T, every fucking body. We're all the adults going, we shouldn't have to explain this to you. You're Congress. You're the government. Yet here we are. Good golly. I tell you what, folks, I want to hear what you have to say. Let's do it. Let's get to the inner circle. Your comments, your questions, your thoughts right here. Get them into Ooman. All right, folks. Mr. Ooman, I'm glad you made it back to the show today. And we've got Not a Bot Lynn. Why weren't military police all not allowed to deny the clot shot, but now the Democrats are telling them it's okay to defy President Trump? Exactly. Military, you've got to take the clot shot. You've got to take that mRNA. You have to take that experimental vaccine. You don't have any choice. But yeah, now the Democrats are saying, hey, president said to do something, no problem. Don't do it. There's a big difference here, though. Big difference, not a bot. Big difference. You know what the difference is? The military has to follow lawful orders from Trump. When Joe Biden, sack of shit, piece of shit, lying, shit his pants, Biden, take a shower with his 12-year-old daughter, Biden, whose son seems to like very, very, very young girls also, as well as cocaine and crack and whatever else he can get his fucking lips on. That Biden, right? He can say, everyone has to get the clot shot. It's unlawful. It's not an order. In fact, later he goes, we never ordered anyone to do anything. Except he says, my patience is wearing thin. People need to get it. See, they couldn't make us. They couldn't make us because it wasn't a lawful order. But yeah, now the Democrats are fine with disobeying any order, including lawful orders. I'm disgusted with all levels of government, folks, federal, state, local, ordering anything, demanding anything. And it's interesting. What I'm finding fascinating, and this is kind of a side note, a little tertiary thing, is more and more people are saying, you know what? You can't fucking escape this shit. They're coming to the same realization I did years and years ago. And now they're expressing it through social media, saying, you know, I sold everything. I quit my fucking job. I just want to be left alone. So I bought property in the middle of fucking nowhere, Tennessee. And I have to pay property taxes every year. And if I want to do anything on my property, I've got to ask permission, pay a fee, get a fucking permit, and have the government come out and tell me what I'm doing is right or wrong. There's no way to escape these fucking people. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. From the day you're born till the day you fucking die. And even after that, you will still pay taxes. People are realizing that we're not free. We're not. You can't go to the store without someone saying, 6-foot clearance. Go down this aisle only one way. Stand in line. Cover your mouth. Don't talk to people. This, that. The fucking Karen screaming at you. I hear you, not a bot, Lynn. You see, it's only good when they're, what you can call it, they're programmed. If they agree with it. If the Democrats agree with it, they'll fucking yell at you and say you should be denied freedom, security, your job, the ability to travel, go anywhere, vacation, use public property. If you don't get your fucking clot shot, they're all fine with that sort of authoritarianism. Trump says, no more money for you fucked up weirdos. They throw a fit over that. They're mad that all of a sudden they can't steal other people's money and give it to their weirdo friends. The Democrats are out front trying to destroy this country as loudly as they can. The Republicans, even in charge, are doing everything they can to allow everything the Democrats set up to continue because the Republicans benefit by it. The government benefits by it. They enrich themselves with it. And then they complain about the Democrats. And they do nothing to fix it. While the Democrats complain that they want to do more to us and fuck us over, but those rascally Republicans won't let them. I see how this ends, folks. Hey, Mr. Uman, what do you think is a great topic to do next? Let's see. Well, we got Badass Diving Frog checking in. And he says, Trump can't say he's being held hostage. I thought he was the president and commander-in-chief. Maybe he should start acting like one. That's what you think. You'd think that Trump, I remember when the president of the United States, when that office indicated that the person holding that office, the president of the United States, was the most powerful man on the planet. The most powerful person on the planet. They don't refer to him that way anymore, do they? The office, that is. Doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman or a fucking mushroom or a fire hydrant. Whoever's in that fucking office, they're no longer the world's most powerful. Fuck, even Trump said it today, right? She can, with one phone call, take out an entire country. What the fuck does that mean? I think Trump is held hostage. I think he's held hostage by his own staff. I think he's held hostage by his children. I think he's held hostage by Israel. I think he's held hostage by his own past. I don't know anything about his past, folks. I know he said to grab women by the pussy. I know he likes women. I know he likes young women. I know he ran a Miss Teen pageant. I know he's a fucking TV personality. I know he likes wrestling and mixed martial arts. I know some stuff. I don't know what he's done that's wrong and illegal. I don't know what he's done that allows himself to be held hostage by others, but he is. I have no doubts. That doesn't mean he won't be mean to the press and talk shit about dollar store Obama Hakeem. He's going to continue to do that. Well, and he called that one reporter, Piggy, shut up. Remember, Biden called, I think it was Peter Jennings, called him a stupid son of a bitch. So I couldn't give a fuck what Trump says to a reporter because they are dumbasses. But pot, kettle, black, something like that. We've got a bunch of people in office, supposedly in positions of power and authority, yet here we are. Nothing is happening. Pam Bondi is making Bill Barr look like the Tasmanian devil of law and order. We barely knew anything about the corruption back then. Now we know everything about the fucking corruption. And nothing's been done. Corruption, extortion, bribery, embezzlement, treason, voter fraud, money laundering, illegal bioweapons labs, funding fucking fruitcake. No problem. She'll just write another letter and go on Fox News. And how much money is she getting? What has she been promised? Or is she very, very, very compromised? Pam Bimbo Bondi. I don't know. What could she have done? I don't know how they're controlling her. Money is a good one. Money, sex, drugs are the three big ones for controlling people. And then, of course, threats of violence. That's a extortion. All right, I'm keeping my head nice and level here. Folks, it's important to understand what's going on so we're all prepared with the items we need. When things get out of hand, you can help protect yourself. No guarantees, there never are, but at least you'll have a chance to protect yourself and your family. And let's continue if we shall. Mr. Uman says, deplorable Yankee redneck is checking in. He says, this may get me in trouble, but both sides are guilty of treason and sedition for violating the Constitution, including Trump. See, I don't know if Trump has violated the Constitution. I think he's stepped way outside the confines of good taste and political decorum with respect to the office of the President of the United States. But beyond that, I don't know what he's done. I don't know. I can guess. I can accuse. But I don't know. There's very little we know about. We've heard reports. And see, that's just it. I love how people go, John, there's no way that many people in government at that level up there in Washington, D.C. can be involved in all of these conspiracies you talk about, yet no one knows about it. How do they keep the lid on it? We are witnessing exactly how they keep the fucking lid on everything. You have no problem with Republicans working with Democrats to hide the Epstein files, to not convict one another, right? They come out and they go, that guy over there, they did something really bad in politics. And we're like, yes, finally, someone's been exposed. They're going to go to jail, and then they're going to get tried. Then they're going to, right? No, they just expose them. The person's like, oh, man, I've been caught. I'm so sorry. I'm a bad person. They take the camera off them. And they're like, fuck it. And they start digging for money again, right? They are all guilty. I am certain. Evidence, proof. I've seen enough. They violated their oaths to the Constitution. But what is the penalty for them failing to do their jobs? There is none. And if there were a penalty, Pam Bondi won't do a fucking thing about it. Whereas Merrick Garland, Attorney General for Biden, had no problem sending a black helicopter full of FBI agents to a fucking school board meeting to intimidate the parents of children who didn't want their children exposed to a bunch of fucking fruitcakes. Parents who want to complain that there's books on homosexuality being given to their children. Oh, by the way, they're going to start having American children learn how to pray to Allah in schools. They're doing that in England, and I'm sure it's on its way here. In fact, some fucking school somewhere, and I think it is in Dearborn, Michigan, has an Islamic prayer room in the fucking school. Where's the Christian chapel? Separation of church and state. We can't have a church in the school, but we can have fucking Muslim shit there. I don't know. I think, is it Dearborn that has the Muslim calls to prayer 5 times a day blasted over their fucking loudspeakers, starting with the first one at 5 a.m. in the morning? I've got to tell you, if that comes to anywhere around here near me, I'm going to participate in removing that shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore. I just don't. I'm all out of fucks to give. I will not commit a crime. I will commit an act of moral outrage to keep the peace. You know, if you do something like that, you are disturbing the peace. You're not allowed to make a bunch of fucking noise and broadcast shit everywhere, right? In fact, I remember this. When I was in high school, kids were getting tickets. If a policeman could hear their stereo music playing 50 feet or more away, it was too loud. It was called noise pollution or a violation of public decency. They came up with all kinds of shit. You're not supposed to disturb other people with your fucking noise, especially at 5 fucking a.m. Right? I cannot be on a job site running compressors and fucking nail guns before 7 a.m. Some jurisdictions, it's 8. But these fucking clowns. All right. Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about. There's this guy, I think his name is Jake Lang. He's the one who's up there in Dearborn, Michigan, causing all kinds of trouble, claiming he's a Christian, bringing out a cross. He got a Quran and was slapping it with bacon. He's doing a lot of things that I think are entertaining and funny. And basically he's up there causing trouble with the Muslims. Turns out he's a Jew. He's an Israeli. Why would he be doing that if he's not really a Christian? Why is he claiming to be a Christian if he's not? There's a lot of information and a lot of misinformation. And they want to play us. They want to fool us. Now, is he a Christian? I don't know. Was he a Jew? Is he a Jew? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is our country is heading into some very rough times. So get prepared. Hey, Mr. Uman, let's have some more fun. What's up next? And it's Uman himself. Uman himself. Dan Bongina crawled out from under his rock to post this on X today. Quote, public corruption will not be tolerated. Public corruption will not be tolerated. Uman says, not even an exclamation mark at the end of that sentence. So Dan Bongina comes out from under his fucking rock, says public corruption will not be tolerated. What have we all been discussing for over a fucking decade? Voter fraud. Fucking lying politicians. Thieving politicians. Everything going wrong in Washington, D.C. is because of public corruption. But Dan Bongina says public corruption will not be tolerated. It's being tolerated like a motherfucker. If I ever saw anything being tolerated, it's corruption from public officials. And I'm still hearing this. I actually saw someone post, where we go one, we go all. That was yesterday, man. Trump is really he's tricking these people into exposing themselves. No. They don't need to be tricked into it. The Republicans and the Democrats are perfectly capable of exposing themselves. Some even literally expose themselves. Dan One-Eyed Butt Pirate Crenshaw is a perfect example of a Republican who loves public corruption. Apparently, he was on a trip, a government trip, a public trip then, to Mexico. And he got out of hand. Little alcohol was involved, I think, if I read the report correctly. Guy is a fucking searing asshole. So now he's forbidden to travel. What the fuck? public corruption, public stupidity, it won't be tolerated. Okay, Dan. Has anyone checked to see if Dan Bongina's handcuffs are rusted shut from being not used? Unbelievable. The guy ought to be fucking embarrassed. Once again, one of the first things I said, I think after about 1 month of Trump's presidency, and we saw no arrests. And then we saw this fucking cover-up start. Cover-up of crimes is public corruption. There's some more. We said, hey, look, if these people had a fucking smidgen, an ounce, a microscopic pinch of self-respect and fucking decency, they would resign. Dan Bongina gave up millions of dollars of his social media to join the government to do whatever the fuck he's going to do. No. I don't believe it. I don't believe he gave up a multi-million-dollar career to become a crime fighter who's had his eyes gouged out, his ears fucking smashed in, his hands chopped off because he doesn't see, he doesn't hear, and he doesn't do. So what is he getting for giving up millions of dollars a year? Well, I tell you what, if I gave up millions of dollars a year, which I don't have, to go to work for government to stop public corruption, and they told me, John, you're not going to do shit. You're not going to have any authority. You're not going to arrest anybody. I'd say, you know what? Fuck you. I quit. Because you're not going to use me as, right, the public face of law enforcement. Don't mess with John. He'll get you, right? You're going to act all tough and talk shit and then go, don't mess around or I'll arrest you, and then arrest nobody. Once again, the very bad parent that's always threatening the children, you guys better stop it. You better stop it. I'm telling you. If I have to say it one more time, I'm telling you. Don't make me get your dad. Don't make me get your mother. You better stop it right now. I've told you once. 1, 2, 3, and they never do nothing. They're fucking liars. What does that teach children when you don't ever actually discipline them? Teaches them they'll get away with whatever the fuck they want. And that's what the government has taught the government. That's what the Democrats have taught the Republicans, and that's what the Republicans have taught the Democrats. Don't worry about it. Ain't nothing going to happen. Woo! All right, Mr. Uman. We're going to end on this. Not About Lynn says take 1,000 milligrams of fuck it all and call me in the morning. I actually have a bottle in my pickup truck in the tank. I have a bottle, and I pulled the fucking label off it and wrote fuck it all on there. And it's a combination of Advil and Tylenol. The other day I was on a job, and the fucking boss, he's rubbing his shoulder, this was a painting project. And I said, hey, I got some fucking painkillers in my truck. This guy was from Peru. And I hand him the bottle. He looks at it and he goes, fuck it all. Thanks. And I just said, look, it's Advil and Tylenol. And I said, he took one of each. He's like, fuck it all. Took one of each. In any event, folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Thank you for your great support. Thank you for being great Americans. Thank you for being patriots. And be sure and write the president, the Congress, the Supreme Court, and even your governor, and tell them about the Declaration of Independence. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours.